Hello everyone, Minute Plus Meditation here, Monday, October the 31st, last day of the month already. And remember, this is All Hallows Eve. Let's I know everybody uses the term Halloween, but it's All Hallows Eve, right? This is the night, to begin this sort of prayer for the dead during the month of November, which is the month of the Holy Souls. So All Hallows Eve. So if you're listening to this and you've got children, try to have, if you're going to have a gathering or party, encourage them to get dressed up in saints' dresses, saints' clothes, I should say, imitating saints. Because it's really, tomorrow we're celebrating the solemnity of all saints. Okay, so to the first reading, a letter to the Philippians. Do nothing from selfish ambition or conceit, but in humility regard others as better than yourselves. Let each of you look not to your own interest, but to the interest of others. If we even tried to do this, intentionally tried to do this, we all know the world would just be exponentially a better place. If we were sincerely striving to think of the good of the other. This is such badly needed medicine in today's world when so many people are out for self-interest. All they want is something for themselves. And this, burns a lot of people, it hurts a lot of people. Causes a lot of people to be cynical and caustic, bitter about the world, bitter about, what's happened to them. But you and I need to be, we need to be the beginning of kind of the change agent in this whole thing. Do nothing from selfish ambition or conceit, but in humility regard others better than yourselves, even if you know you're going to be burned, even if you know the people you work with or live with are not totally trustworthy. Yes, you have to encounter them with prudence and with care, not entrusting them with things they cannot be trusted with. But, hold to St. Paul, like you be the difference rather than you expect them to be the difference. Now, it applies to me as well. This is really important for all of us. Like if we as Christians don't start to be the change agents, with the grace that we have, the supernatural grace we have, nobody's going to do it. So that's what the early Christians were about in a very dark pagan world, and they, with the grace of God, they help change the world, and you and I can do the same thing as well. But we've got to rely upon God's grace. Do our part, definitely, but rely upon God's grace. So over to the Gospel of Luke on this last day of October. One Sabbath, Jesus was at the house of a leading Pharisee to eat a meal. Jesus said to the one who had invited him, when you give a dinner, a luncheon, do not invite friends or your brothers or sisters or your relatives and rich neighbors, because they can do the same for you in return. But when you give a luncheon, invite the poor, the lame, the crippled, and so on. So our Lord, this is really challenging. Now, is he saying you shouldn't invite family to dinners? No, his Lord is not saying that at all. But he's saying if our charity is exclusive only to family members, and for that matter, family members may not be unified and may not be easy to invite family members. So let's take that into account as well. But even if it's all just like-minded people, it becomes an echo chamber. And we have to ask ourselves, is my charity reaching beyond the norm? Am I trying to even go outside our circle, doing something? There have been courageous steps taken by some parishes or dioceses where they do invite the blind, the crippled, and the lame, the people street people and so on. It has to be done carefully. You can't just invite anybody into your home, because it actually might become a dangerous thing today. It could always be that way, but I think it's intensified because of issues of mental illness and so on that they're all over the place. So we do have to be careful, but do we even make an attempt, to think outside the box, to contribute to places like, here in Vancouver, there's missions downtown on the east side. Do we make an effort? Some people can even volunteer in these places. But the point is to really try and make an effort to think beyond just our own echo chamber. With nothing wrong with, being with good friends, good company. We need to strengthen each other and just solidify those bonds. But that cannot be everything that we do. We need to kind of think, beyond ourselves and to those who are truly in need. So really ask our Lord to help you be conscientious about this, while at the same time giving thanks that you have company you can be with and you're like-minded with them. God bless you.